YouTube! Welcome to another video! Today we're watching Lock-Picking Lawyer April Fool's videos, all the ones, all the April Fools. We're starting with manipulating my tiny cock. Oh my god, 8 years ago. Let's go! Let's go!
This is the Lock-Picking Lawyer, and what I have for you today is one of the most treasured cylinders in my collection, and one that I don't often share publicly. In fact, I normally only show it to my wife. It goes by many different names, but my favorite is that used by the French, so that is what we will use today. It is le coq.
Guys, it's just an animal. It's just an animal. Le coq. It's just an animal, guys. It's just an animal.
Now, I have had this cylinder for literally as long as I can remember. In fact, I vividly recall playing with it all the time when I was younger. And you can see from the condition that this cock has seen some hard use over the years. If you're familiar with cock...
Chad, does that seem familiar to you? Does that seem familiar to you?
Cylinders, you may be thinking right about now that mine is a little on the small side. And it's true. This is only about 2.35 inches long, which makes it the smallest cock that I have ever seen. But even so, it never fails to put a smile on my face, and I've come to terms with the fact that I'll probably never have a bigger one.
Ain't no freaking way. Ain't no freaking way. That's average, guys. Guys, it's not that small, right? You're right? I wonder if he wrote a script for this or if he's winging it.
Now, manipulating the cock, like most other cylinders, does require a deft touch. With too much or too little force, nothing will happen, and likewise, you need to know exactly where and how to twist and push if you're going to be successful. But with all the time I've spent with this cock over the years, I have become a true master at manipulating it. So let me show you how it's done. I like to grasp the cylinder.
He's also the master at baiting, you guys. He's also the master at baiting. You guys, if the Lock-Picking Lawyer was a streamer, he would be the biggest clip farmer.
Firmly with my left hand, wrapping my fingers tightly around it. And with that same hand, I apply a clockwise torque. Now that torque is pretty firm at first, but during the course of the manipulation, I tend to subconsciously vary and pulse the pressure depending on how it feels. With my other hand, I start at the tip of the cock and slowly tease the tips of the pins up, using a firm pulsing motion. And I like to work my way towards the back of the cock and then repeat those motions over and over again until we get the desired result.
Guys, do not watch this video without the picture. Do not just I know some people like to watch, you know, the stuff just while gaming or you know, but do not watch it. Do not watch it without the video, guys. Do not watch it without the picture.
So let's see if we can do that right now. Now, I normally narrate when I do this, but when I manipulate this cock, I tend to lose my concentration. So we're not going to do that today.
So real. Oh.
And there we go.
Cock?
It tends to catch me by surprise every now and then, but I'll tell you, it never gets old. So,
he finished,
So normally, I'd take this apart right now to show you what's inside, but the prospect of permanently damaging my cock is frankly unthinkable, so I'm not going to risk it. That means that's it for today. If you do have any questions or comments about this, please put them below. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please subscribe. And as always...
Yes, please show the cock more often. Wait, I'm actually curious what the comments are. Category education, yeah, seems right. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Please have a great April 1st. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
This is the Lockpicking Lawyer, and about a year ago, I showed you
God.
my absolute favorite cylinder, this well-used, albeit somewhat short cock. Now, if you'd like to see more of my cock, I'll leave a link to that year-old video in the
Bro, don't say that!
description below. But today is all about the favorite of Mrs. Lockpicking Lawyer. And while she does like my cock, it is not her favorite. Her favorite is one that she actually had even before I knew her, though it never got any use until after we met. At least that's what she tells me. If you saw the title to this video, then you know that it is, of course, her beaver.
Guys, is this... I didn't know. I think I'm actually learning something. Is beaver another word for something? I mean, I feel like it is, right? I guess it is, right?
I have been avidly interested in beavers since I was a teenager. But
Whoa.
over the years, no two beavers that I've ever seen have been exactly alike. So, let's take a closer look at my wife's beaver.
I mean, I think beavers are cute, you guys. I think beavers are cute.
The most obvious feature is the large opening in the center. But if we take a closer look, we'll see something that a lot of guys miss. There's a small hood-shaped feature at the 12 o'clock position. If you're going to manipulate a beaver, you're going to have to give that area special attention.
Don't forget,
Another
guys.
notable property is the wrinkled surface all around the main opening. Not all beavers have that. In fact, I have another beaver that I keep on the side. My wife doesn't know about this one, but let's take a look at it.
Whoa! His wife doesn't know? His wife doesn't know?
See that this one is perfectly smooth on the outside. That's actually pretty common on the newer beavers. So, let's hide this one away.
Bruh, he has a side beaver that's newer. What the heck?
And then see what it takes to get into my wife's. Now, from experience, I can tell you that a generous squirt of lube will make this process go much easier. So, let's do that now. And we're going to work that in to get it very slick on the inside.
Oh.
Okay, now that it's well lubricated, I'm going to take out my tool. Now, it looks a little bit on the big side. In fact, when my wife first saw it, she didn't think it would fit. But after that...
Of course. Freaking course. Freaking course. What did I tune into? Don't worry. Don't worry.
Squirt of lube we gave it earlier, it should slip right in.
We're just watching the Lockpicking Lawyer. Guys, it's just lockpicking. It's someone's first stream. Don't worry, it's just lockpicking, guys.
But before I show you that, a word about technique. I'm going to be using a firm thrusting motion, together with a small twist. Not everyone does it that way, but I find that technique very effective. Okay, let's get started.
Okay, but this looks kind of satisfying. I don't know.
So, as you can see, it is disappointingly fast and easy to get into my wife's beaver.
Chet, I want to learn how to pick locks.
In any case, that's all I have for you today. If you do have any questions or comments about this, please put them below. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please subscribe.
Thank you.
And have a great April 1st.
Thank you. It's not, guys. It's not April 1st, but it's it's August 9, but similar, right? Similar time, right? Similar time. Getting in my ex-girlfriend's back door. Wait, you can interpret that in a few ways, you guys.
This is the Lockpicking Lawyer, and on this channel I've demonstrated how to penetrate some of the most secure equipment out there, usually using some very simple tools. But it's almost always done right here on my desk. It's a controlled environment that might not be equivalent to field conditions. So today I'm taking you on the road with me. You see, I just got a call from my ex-girlfriend who's having a problem. Her new boyfriend is apparently having trouble getting in her back door. It's really tight, and she told him to stop trying because all he was doing was pushing really hard.
Dude, I thought he was gonna, like, break into her house. I thought he was gonna break into her house. What does that say about me, guys?
And she was afraid something would break. But she remembered that when we were dating, I used to go in through her back door all the time. This is a picture of her back door. She just...
Wait, I was right! Wait! Yeah, he is. Yes, I was right. Okay.
Sent it to me, and I don't see any reason why this should be a problem. Frankly, it looks looser than it was back when we were dating. So, while her boyfriend's at work, she asked me to come over and see if I could help loosen things up.
Dude, is that a double door? Is that a double door? Is there a door behind the door?
I, of course, agreed, so long as I could get it on video and share it on this channel. So, let's drive over and see if we can get in her back door without breaking anything. Okay, folks, here we are, and I have to say that my ex-girlfriend's back door is far dirtier than it ever used to be back when we were dating.
Ew, nasty, nasty.
It seems to have been neglected pretty badly, but I'm actually glad to find it this way. So you can see why I always keep baby wipes handy whenever I do anything like this. So let's get one out and wipe all of this brown residue away.
Yeah, good. Nasty.
Okay, this is pretty dirty. It might be a 2-wipe job.
I don't know, guys. Okay. I feel like... No, I'm not gonna get into this. Okay, no, I have to now. I feel like if I don't, it's worse. It's never just one, right? If you do the number two. If you do the number 2. It is the number 2, right? If you do the mod, the mod. Does anyone just wipe once? Cause like if you only wipe once, you don't know if it's actually gonna be clean. You have to wipe at least twice. We're talking about Doorsmith? Oh, sorry.
Okay, now that we have the outside just a little bit cleaner, it's time to flush out the inside as well. And because we need to lubricate this anyway, I'm going to flush out the main opening with a good bit of lube. We just need to be sure to keep a towel underneath that opening so we don't make a mess. Here it makes a lot of sense to be generous with that lubricant. Back doors tend to be neglected, so you can't have too much. Okay, we are almost ready, but before I go any further, I need to put on some rubber for my own protection.
Wait, you guys, I can't ignore chat. What do you mean phantom shit? You don't see it before flushing? What? I feel like I'm learning things about going to the bathroom that I didn't expect I would learn in this in this video. Huh?
Action.
You don't see it when you what? When you wipe? What?
Now, depending on various factors, I should note that the opening could be in an awkward position. And all I have to say about that is deal with it. It's not uncommon, especially when you're going in through the back door. Now, I can't just shove in my tool. I need to be very gentle and wiggle things into position if I'm going to stand any chance of getting in.
Oh. Dude, this looks so easy. Are you kidding me?
I think we're there. All it needs now is a firm shove, and we are in. Now you need to understand that just because I got in her back door doesn't mean that her boyfriend will be able to as well. So I need to spend some time working it in and loosening it up. But I'm gonna do that off camera, so that's all I have for you today. If you
You're calling his ex easy. No, but this is scary, you guys. Anyone could just do this.
do you have any questions or comments about
Anyone
this,
could just
please
do
put them below.
this.
If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please subscribe and have a great April 1st.
Thank you.
This is the Lockpicking Lawyer, and over the years,
We've seen the tiny cock. This is the 18-inch long Johnson. Is this a bike lock? Is this a bike lock, you guys?
I have tried mightily
Looks
to
insane.
interest Mrs. Lockpicking Lawyer in my lock collection. Unfortunately, I've had no success at all, until last week, when she came home with this absolutely perfect example of a Johnson.
Oh.
And it's not just any Johnson. It's the extraordinarily rare 18-inch variant. I did ask her why she was finally showing interest in locks, and all she would say is, unlike my 2.5-inch long cock, this 18-inch Johnson would be getting a lot of use. So, how does one...
Oh, that's rough. That's rough.
one use an 18-inch long Johnson? It's fairly simple. All you need to do is insert the tip of the shaft into this opening and press firmly. You'll note that while the shaft is fairly flexible, it's also quite hard. And that hardness is both intrinsic to the function and it greatly aids the insertion. Now, one thing I immediately noticed with my new Johnson is that no matter how hard I pushed, I wasn't able to stuff more than about 6 to 8 inches into the opening. If you try to shove it in any farther, you're likely going to do damage.
Oh, that's rough. Oh,
you
that's
can,
rough.
However, insert...
He bent it 180 degrees. Ouch. Well, well, does that hurt, you guys? Is that possible?
the Johnson in either the front or the rear opening. To get it in the rear,
I guess it's possible. Yeah, I mean, it's just a lock, right? Yes, it's just a lock.
Flip it over, then insert the tip of the shaft. That's usually the hard part. Then give it a solid shove to fully seat it.
Bro!
Once again, inserting the Johnson more than about 6 to 8 inches into the rear hole risks damage, though you may be able to get in a bit farther with proper lubrication. Now, as you might imagine, I was quite proud of my new 18-inch Johnson, and when I received it, I showed it to all of my friends and family, at least those who I could get to look. I was quite surprised when my father took me aside and revealed that he too had an unusual Johnson.
Mr. Lockpicking Lawyer! It runs in the family! What the heck? What the heck?
In fact, one that's far more rare than my own. His, of course, is a slightly older model, which is generally built the same, with a somewhat flexible, yet very hard shaft. However, my father's Johnson is a full 24 inches long.
Whoa!
I can't even get it on screen. I've read about Johnsons this long, but never imagined I'd ever get to handle one. Now, when I first examined it, I noticed that my father's Johnson has a wide bulbous feature on the end of the shaft. Because of that, you can only shove about 2 to 3 inches of
guys, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, huh?
the shaft, really just the tip,
This has to be on purpose? No.
into the opening. After that, it tends to get stuck. That said, it does seem to be very effective. So, I think you all can tell that I'm very pleased with Mrs. Lockpicking Lawyer's new acquisition. And much to my surprise, for someone who doesn't like locks, she also seems to be quite excited about my 18-inch Johnson. In any case, that's all I have for you today. If you do have any questions or comments about this, please put them below. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please
It's just an innocent log picking video, guys. We're learning how to pick the logs, guys. We're learning how to pick the logs, guys. Makes so much sense. This guy's a lawyer. Wait, he is. Oh, that's why his name is the log picker. Guys, I never realized that. He's actually a log picker. He is actually a log picker. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Can you explain why is it so funny? What do you mean funny? It's just locked.
This is the LockPicking Lawyer, and what I have for you today is something that's really important to myself and Mrs. LockPicking Lawyer. In fact, it's something she's been playing with since her
Oh my god, it's another beaver!
She let me first use it on our third date.
Ain't no way!
So, I'm sure you've all gotten a good look and can clearly see that it is my wife's beaver. Now,
ain't no way!
I showed you her beaver a few years ago in video number 862, but I wanted to feature it again because...
Wait, I like that he numbers all his videos. Where is he at now? Where is he at now? 1,660, huh? Interesting, interesting.
As I read through the comments, I realized that many of you just don't appreciate how versatile a beaver can be. For instance, when they get their hands on a beaver, I know a lot of guys who just load it up as fast as they can and call it a day. But
yeah, don't do
that is a big mistake. First, before you put anything in the beaver, you have to make sure all the appropriate parts are properly lubricated. Otherwise, you're probably going to do some damage. Then you need to give careful consideration to what you're going to put in the beaver. It is pretty common to see guys put balls like this inside the beaver.
Of course! Of course! How does it just all add up? How does it all add up? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
And while, like most guys, I do have a nice sack of balls, that's getting to be pretty cliche. A less common and probably healthier option is to put your nuts in a beaver.
I feel like I should have seen it coming.
But again, it's not something that really appeals to me. Now, if you're just looking to have fun, probably the best option is to put toys into a beaver.
Stop! I thought he was gonna stop at nuts. I thought...
But a word of caution here. If you try to stick toys in a beaver and those toys are too big, it is possible, if not likely, that you're going to do damage. And just as bad, the toy can get stuck. So, before trying to stick toys in a beaver, always ask the owner for both permission and instructions. Fortunately, by our fourth or fifth date, my wife figured out that I knew my way around her beaver pretty well. So she gives me a lot of leeway here and actually encourages me to be creative. So, while I do have a lot of options, my absolute favorite thing to put in my wife's beaver are banana-shaped treats.
I didn't know it was possible to get the bananas in there somehow. I didn't think it was possible. What's next, sausages? Is it going to mention the sausages?
Now, obviously, this small package isn't going to fill up my wife's beaver, and it can be pretty awkward if you don't fill the entire beaver. In fact, it's usually better to have a little left over. So, today I am going to stuff my entire 15-pound banana treat package into my wife's beaver.
Of course.
Now, the first thing I need to do is take out my tool and insert it into this slit-shaped opening right on the top.
Holy.
Then I need to jiggle it around for a while. This part can be boring. Just jiggle while giving it a twist. You might not think that can do much, but if you do it enough, it'll turn this little slit-shaped opening into a large gaping one.
Okay.
And I think you can...
Guys, Guys, we're just learning about this beaver, guys.
See just how wide I opened up my wife's beaver, and it is clearly going to be a lot easier to jam in this huge package. However, at my wife's request, I'm not going to show that part on camera, so that's all I have for you today.
Of course.
If you do have any questions or comments about this, please put them below. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please subscribe, and have a great April 1st.
Is he going to show it on another website as well? Oh my god. Oh! Getting into a woman's but you get into the cat.
LockPicking Lawyer, and just because you can get into something doesn't necessarily mean that you should.
Yeah.
At least that's the specific advice that comes to mind today.
Uh-oh.
You see, what I have for you today is something that many women consider to be the epicenter of their most intimate moments and thoughts. These go by several names, which range from clinical to downright inappropriate, but looking at these, I think we'll use the term kitty for obvious reasons.
The meow meow, guys. The meow meow. We have a diary like that, Mim. I had a few diaries growing up, but I don't know, I was never able to like write in them regularly. Yep. He's gonna tell about furry stuff? No way. No. The lock-picking lawyer is not a furry. I don't believe it. But I have it as loud as possible. I hope it's fine.
I have 3 kitties to show you.
It's still a bit
this
quiet,
one belongs to Mrs. Lockpicking Lawyer, and you'll notice it's a nice rosy pink and quite...
No, I could write, but like I can't, like, I don't know. I had hard times keeping up writing in it every single day.
furry. You can't tell this on video,
furry?
but it also has a nice fresh watermelon scent to it. This one belongs to a neighbor of mine, a very friendly girl who works as a dancer. You'll notice her kitty is even more furry than my wife's, but she's also decorated it with glitter. That's quite unusual. In my experience, you'll either find kitties that are furry or kitties decorated with glitter. Finding both together is rare, though.
What? Sorry, what? Like, what? Glitter? What?
I've heard it was a bit more popular back in the 70s. Even so, I understand this kitty is quite well used, so apparently it does have some appeal. This last kitty belongs to my ex-girlfriend, and unlike the first 2, this one is perfectly smooth on the outside.
Awkward.
I understand that's becoming more popular these days. Also, unlike the first 2, this one is not pink on the outside. However, if we look carefully in...
How? Why does that just... How?
into these folds, we can clearly see it's pink on the inside.
How?
That pink coloration on the inside
How does it all just add up, you guys?
is fairly universal. If we look into my wife's kitty, we can certainly see some pink in there. And moving over to my neighbor's kitty, well, that one's more of a purple color. I've never seen that, but I've heard that can happen with excessive use. Now, only a few people will ever get inside of any particular woman's kitty, and that's because they're kept closed unless you first get into their hearts. Now,
aww, wait, that's cute. Well, that's cute.
I, of course, have the key to my wife's heart, so getting into her kitty is fairly routine. I do it often, and it usually doesn't take more than a few seconds, though my wife does seem to prefer when I take my time. That said, when I first met my wife, I did not have a key and found getting in quite difficult. I had to figure out exactly where to touch and how to manipulate to get in. If I recall correctly...
Manipulate? Wait, the word manipulate gets a different meaning with this.
correctly, I spent a fair bit of time with my tool in this hole. Strangely, it did nothing at all. But when I squeezed my tool into this tiny little crevice, it seemed to pop right open. So that's what I've been doing ever since. Similarly, my ex-girlfriend's kitty is also kept tightly shut unless you first find your way into her heart. I'm not sure if I remember exactly how to do it, but let's give it a try. I put my tool into this tight little hole in the bottom.
I mean, it's his ex-girlfriend, so if he doesn't get in there, I guess that's fair. That should be fine.
And there we go. It took a little bit more time than it used to, but I suspect with some practice, I could be getting into this kitty fairly regularly.
What?
Okay, moving on to
It's
the
your
kitty
ex.
decorated with.
I mean, you know, it's just a book.
Glitter.
It's just a journal.
That this one is not guarded by the owner's heart. When I first encountered a glittered kitty, I have to admit I tried every technique I could think of to get in, and nothing seemed to work. However, I noticed something strange that might help you if you ever run into a glittered kitty. When I put away my normal tool and took out a little bit of gold, it opened up surprisingly fast. I still haven't figured out why that is, but let's give it a shot.
Oh, she's a gold digger! She's a gold digger! Oh my god! Oh my god! Are you kidding me? No!
Okay,
Don't do it! Don't do it, lockpicking lawyer! No, don't do it!
See, we got into that very quickly using some gold.
No,
One
don't do
additional
it!
note, you'll notice that when I get into a kitty covered in glitter, always make sure that your tool is covered in rubber. Now, having shown you a few kitties belonging to women, the question arises, do men have something similar?
True.
Well, in fact, they do, but they don't quite fit in on this channel because unlike women's kitties, the male equivalent is extraordinarily easy to access. I actually borrowed a few from friends of mine to show you.
Guys, you got wrecked.
You'll notice there's nothing stopping you from accessing any of them. I'm not sure why they're so different. One curious observation I had, though, is they're all about the same size, roughly 6 inches. I find that strange because comparing it to mine, mine's about 8 inches.
Oh shit, sorry. Wait, what is this video? Of course! Of course!
I always thought that was normal. I guess not. In any case, that's all I have for you today. If you do have any questions or comments about this, please put them below. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please subscribe and have a great April 1st.
Okay.
This is the Lockpicking Lawyer, and several years ago, I produced a series of videos showing how to twist popular padlocks.
Lockpicking Lawyer, please fix your audio. My 36-inch King Dick Rex lock. Wait, what?
Locks off their hasps using my 24-inch pipe wrench. And to be sure, it was a very effective attack, though it did have its limits. One of which was due to the fact that I was using a relatively low-quality pipe wrench from Harbor Freight. So, before we continue the series, it seems pretty clear that I need a better tool. I asked my friends if they had any candidates. My friend Tony offered the use of his 8-inch Wang. Now, normally,
there's no way. There's no way that that's just the name. The manufacturers are doing this on purpose. The manufacturers. What?
An 8-inch Wang would be more than enough for any standard job, something like laying pipe. But it just doesn't give enough power for what I want to show you. And as you can see, being only 8 inches long, it doesn't seem to have seen much use. Then my friend Trevor offered the use of this one. It is 10 inches long and rigid. Like Tony's Wang, a 10-inch rigid is more than enough for most sturdy jobs, and it'll likely do well. But again, it seemed a little short for me.
Damn!
Moving up in size, I was offered this 14-inch Johnson by my friend Rob.
Why does he have so many? Are you kidding me? He has every single size.
Now, it might be long enough, but you'll notice this bend at the head of the tool.
I should have gone to church today. That's so funny. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you're witnessing this. What? You don't own one? No.
It's my understanding that quite a few Johnsons have a bend in them just like this one, and I'm told it can be awkward or even uncomfortable. Because of that, I tend to avoid bent Johnsons. Finally, my friend Nick offered the use of his 4-inch long King Dick.
Damn! Says friends once you listen. Wait, you're right. But, you know, the King Dick.
Now, I think we all know that 4 inches isn't really enough to get the job done. I tried to tactfully tell Nick, and he was quick to point out that if you play with it, it does get a bit longer, but only about a quarter to half an inch. Not enough for our purposes. To his credit, though, Nick's offering did remind me that I, too, have a King Dick, and it might be perfect for the job. My King Dick, however, is a full 36 inches
Dude, it doesn't fit on the screen!
long. Now, I've used my King Dick to lay pipe in the past. You can clearly see that it's well used, and it can be extremely effective. But I've never shown my King Dick on video or publicly.
It's British!
So I feel obligated to issue a few words of caution. When using a tool this big, you have to be really careful. The power of a 36-inch tool should never be underestimated, because if you carelessly swing around a 36-inch King Dick, you can do a lot of damage, maybe even wreck a home with it. So, being careful not to do too much harm, let's go see the damage that my 36-inch King Dick is capable of inflicting.
Oh my god. I've never had one of those. I always wanted one of those. Oh my god. Yes. Whoa. Dude. That's a strong dick. Yeah, a wrench. Whoa. Whoa. Why do you want a wrench? It's cool. This is a crazy first stream to be listening to in the background. No, that's what I was saying. No, you can't just listen. No, we're just watching lockpicking. This is a very normal stream. Oh no. But damn, look at that. Oh. Dude, it wrecks every single one.
Well, I think it's pretty clear that my 36-inch long King Dick is a supremely powerful tool.
Let's go!
But as I was testing it out, Mrs. Lockpicking Lawyer walked in and watched me work. Afterwards, it was suggested that my King Dick wasn't a particularly versatile tool. She then challenged me to get into her beaver using nothing but my King Dick. Since I never backed down from a challenge, let's go give that a try.
Oh my god. Whoa! Bro, he destroyed the beaver. What the heck? You thought the spotted dick reaction was full of innuendos. I know. Holy shit.
Okay, folks, as you saw, getting into Mrs. Lockpicking Lawyers with
Holy
my king
shit.
Dick wasn't particularly hard. And I'll admit to being a little surprised
He was too rough, he
as
was.
to finding some semen inside.
There's no way. That was so unexpected. That was so unexpected, dude.
Huh. I don't think this semen's mine.
Oh,
In any case, that's all I have for you today. Well, I thought that's all I had for you, but my friend Nick saw this video early and was a bit upset that I dismissed the utility of his 4-inch king dick. So, to redeem his tool, he offered to show how well it can get into his wife's furry kitty. Let's give that a try.
Oh, can you do it? Oh, Dude, it just ripped it apart.
Well, I'm not sure it's anything to write home about, but I suppose a 4-inch king dick can be effective, at least in limited circumstances. But to be honest, I'm not sure 4 inches is enough to get the job done. In any case, that's all I have for you today.
That's
if
so
you
rough.
do have any questions or comments
That's
about
so
this,
rough,
please
guys.
put them below. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please subscribe. And as always, have a great April 1st.
Thank you. You guys, I don't know. Ew. I don't know if I can make it the last two ones. Okay, wait. You know what? We're in a bit of a time crunch, but we can do it.
This is the Lockpicking Lawyer, and what I have for you today is a real hands-on job. I'm going to show you what it takes to beat my one-eyed monster. And as an added bonus, I convinced a friend of mine.
How is one-eyed monster? Wait, what do you mean one eye?
To let me play with his one-eyed monster on camera as well.
What do you mean one eye?
Before we go too deep into this, I should note that there are obvious similarities and differences between my friend's one-eyed monster and my own.
Dude, his friend has some sort of disease. Kinda nasty.
Both are quite a handful and have a curved shaft, a large bulbous protrusion, and of course this small slit at the end. Both of them are also rock hard with a slightly soft covering on the outside. That's where the similarities end. Where mine is smooth and almost leathery in appearance, my friend's one-eyed monster is veiny, purplish, and has these small pustules or sores on it. I've never seen anything like those sores on my one-eyed monster, and my friend wouldn't tell me anything about how he got them, other than to say something under his breath about a girl named Karma.
Karma? Damn, Karma's a bitch.
Enough said about that, because the question remains, how do you beat the one-eyed monster? As you might imagine, there are lots of different methods that I've tried to get mine to pop. I've even done it left-handed, but I'll show you the ways that I think work best, and those are rapid stroking, and of course a slower probing approach. I'll show you the rapid stroking method on my friend's one-eyed monster, and we're going to use the well-known 3-step approach. Get a firm grip, establish a brisk rhythm, and the critical thing to remember is don't stop until it pops. I can't say that enough. Get a firm grip, good rhythm, and don't stop until it pops. Let's give it a try.
Whoa, he's going at it, you guys. What the heck?
Just like that, it popped in my hand. Okay, now we'll try the slower probing approach on my one-eyed monster. This method emphasizes a more gentle application of force, but like the rapid stroke method,
There was like 2 seconds. It was.
firm grip is essential. Now this might take a little bit more time and teasing to get it to pop, but it is also very effective.
Sounding.
Okay, I can tell.
No, not the sound.
We're pretty close. This should be popping in my hand at any moment now.
Oh.
And there we go. Now, if you want to beat the one-eyed monster even faster, there is the deep thrust method, which is exceptionally fast and effective. All you really do is jam your tool into the little slit and wiggle it vigorously. Of course, you're going to need a tool that can reach all the way in, and not everyone has that. Okay, one final method for beating the one-eyed monster, and this focuses on the shaft. For this, you need some...
I'm struggling with the layout a little bit.
Something that can wrap around the shaft.
I'm struggling with the layout a little bit.
Twist around the shaft, and eventually, if you do it right, it will pop in your hand.
Oh.
All right, folks, as you saw, there are lots of ways to beat the one-eyed monster. And keep in mind that everything I just showed you can also be done left-handed, if you just want to try something that feels a little different. In any case, that's all I have for you today. If you do have any questions or comments about this, please put them below. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please subscribe. And as always, have a great April 1st.
Thank you!
This is the LockPicking.
Oh my god! Oh my god! This one's also so loud. Wait, getting into my wife's furry... Can I say this, Fanny?
Lawyer, and every once in a while, I like to take a few minutes to show you how I use my skills to defeat the challenges that I encounter in my everyday life. You see, Mrs. LockPick...
Not to hair shame, but... Not to bush shame, but that's really hairy.
Picking Lawyer and I like to enjoy, well, let's call it an active lifestyle. And oftentimes, that includes her strapping her gear around her waist before we go to town. And what she straps on really lets us have a good time without worrying about holding on to the things that she likes to use. I'm talking about something that I think every active couple should be using often, even though people tend not to talk about it. That is, of course, a fanny. Now,
guys, yeah, it's just a fanny pack, guys. Is it fanny or funny? I'm scared of saying. I'm scared of saying. It's fanny, right? Fanny.
As you can see, my wife's fanny is quite, well, it's furry. But I like it that way, and if you were to feel it, I think you'd be very impressed with just how silky smooth it is. Of course, not all fannies are like this.
Oh.
This is a smooth and tanned fanny that my wife's best friend often lets me use.
Dude, why is it so... It's so, wrinkly, though.
They look very, very different, but essentially they serve the same function. The smooth, furless fanny is much newer, and you can see it's not well broken yet. That'll come with time and use. The more you use it, the faster a fanny will loosen up. Despite their differences, though, the fannies essentially serve the same function. There is a hood-like feature that goes over the top, but most importantly, there is this slit-like main opening, and that is what I am always trying to get into. Now, I'm not...
Furry fannies were in the 80s very, very common. I was gonna say, this is like very... This is not drip, I'm sorry.
Not afraid to admit that sometimes when Mrs. LockPicking Lawyer straps one on and we're off having fun, I have a pretty hard time getting into my wife's fanny. I don't know if it's just me.
Shit.
You see, for my wife, as you might imagine, her fanny is easy. She reaches
no way!
right into the slit.
What the heck?
And swipes it like a credit card.
What?
Sometimes it takes a few tries, but there. That's all there is to it.
Oh,
on a side
nice.
note, my wife's fanny has these pink folds on the inside. I haven't seen the inside of a lot of women's fannies, but my understanding is that's fairly common. Anyway, for me, it is much harder. Harder than it is for her. So I thought I'd share a few tips and tricks for getting into my wife's fanny after.
This is like really creative in a fucked up way, right? Every single one of these videos.
She strapped one on. The thought being that maybe it would help
It's
a few
hard,
of you
yes,
folks
it's
out
hard.
there. If we look carefully, we can see there are two main options when it comes to my wife's fanny. We can use the slit on the front, or we can flip it over and use this tiny, tight little opening on the rear. Either will get the job done for me, though personally, I prefer using the rear opening. There's nothing special about it. It's just a matter of personal preference.
Okay.
So, I'm going to take my tool out and get to work. I'm not sure what to say other than I just jam the tool in and wiggle it around pretty aggressively. It might not seem like the most refined technique, but I find that with my wife's fanny, being a little bit rough tends to get the job done fastest.
Yo!
Let's try that one more time just to make
Well, it's just lockpicking, guys. It's just lockpicking, guys. It just, yeah.
sure it was not a fluke.
It's just lockpicking, guys.
Okay, folks, as you saw, with some skills, a little bit of aggression, and some effort, getting into my wife's fanny doesn't have to be hard. That said, you really do have to know what you're doing, and in that regard, I hope this video was helpful. In any case, that's all I have for you today. If you do have any questions or comments about this, please put them below. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please subscribe. And as always, have a great April 1st.
Thank you, LockPicking Lawyer, for teaching me. Thank you. Using a credit card. Bro! Yeah, he comes up with one of those every single year. Actually insane. Actually insane. Holy shit. Holy shit. Alright. We saw the... that's the legend of the lockpicking lawyer. April Fool's videos, you guys see. I feel like... I used to watch his videos actually a lot. Like, just his normal videos. I don't know why, but there's just something about watching lockpicking videos that's, like, fun, okay? Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed, like and subscribe. Check out the lockpicking lawyer. Come over to Twitch to watch me live. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, YouTube! Bye-bye!